Hey everybody, this is James from the Beehive Organic Salon in New Jersey, with my blushing bride Angela, with our friends from Design House in Victoria Island in Canada. This is the kickoff for the movement of sustainable salons. Welcome. There's a bunch of people on the call. We're definitely super excited. Hey Kurtis, how are you guys doing?
Good, man. Yeah, this is going to be a good call. We've done a few of these this week. We're calling this the kickoff, but we have done a few of these, so there is some available on the site. But we're doing this as the big kind of launch event of what's happening today. So we're really excited about it. We've got some special guests lined up, so we're really excited about that. Lots of people signing up this morning and last night. So hopefully it's not too early for everybody on the West Coast. And otherwise, Chantelle, you're down in Design House. I'm upstairs in the loft. You got it all going all right?
Yeah, no problem down here. I hope everybody else is having an easy time logging on because I'm really excited about this platform being a way for all of us to connect. I think it's there's a lot of really cool technology out there. It's about time we start using it. And just like we connect at the hair show with 2,000 people from all over the world at the Worldwide Hair Tour, I think it's really important for us to join hands and connect in the comfort of your own salon or home so that we can chat about everyday common topics that we might be talking to our fellow stylists or friends with. But now we get to bring it to light and talk together and maybe share the love and help everybody do amazing things. So
I think it's great. Angela, anything you'd like to add about being on for our very first kickoff?
Yeah. We were talking before we started, and I was saying that I wanted to encourage people to log in and write about different topics maybe they want to hear us talk about in the future, educationally or, salon related or, all of our eco initiatives, being that we won Eco Salon and you guys won the year before. Maybe they can be inspired to, just ask us what you want to hear. What do you want to hear us talk about?
That's great. So if we might, we'll start off. We want to definitely welcome Chantal.
Hi.
Chantal, how
Morning,
are you?
Chantal.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Oh, that's good. We've got both Chantels on. That way there's very
Double
little
Chantal.
confusion in the whole Davines community about, okay, these are the two Chantels.
Chantel,
Right.
Chantal.
Yeah.
I don't hear any confusion.
So I guess the best way to start is to kind of give everybody a precursor to how the movement actually began. We were really fortunate last year. We won the Eco Salon contest in London, and we had the pleasure of having our award presented to us by Kurtis and Chantelle from Design House, who had won the year before. And, we were always, we had, I'll say we had cocktails after, I guess. We sat down and we were able to really to pull some resources and talk a little bit. And the interesting thing was we kind of had very similar stories, right? Husband and wife, one does the back office, one is actually the master stylist and does all the heavy lifting, right, Kurtis? But reality of it was that we were always deemed as Davines salons that got it. Oh, you guys get it. You don't need the extra help. You don't need the things. And, small salons trying to educate a staff and trying to move forward, no pun intended. We really had some different ideas and things that we thought that would help the Davines family to kind of take things beyond the Eco Salon Award. So, we got together and we'd been in constant communication since London. Some of you that were on the call were able to see us out in Los Angeles where we presented the movement with Paolo Verguzzi on stage and George Blanco, the creative director in Davines North America. So it's been pretty exciting. So, Kurtis and I have done a bunch of calls, and this is the first one where we really did a big push, and that's why we're calling it the kickoff. What do you think, Kurtis? Yeah,
and that's something to remember too, is that just so that everybody knows, we're not putting ourselves out there as business development experts or salon experts. We're all just we're new at it too, and we're getting going. We've saw some benefit in being able to bounce things off of each other and work together as salon owners. And so we're really excited about the success that we've had about, what we're doing. So we're just wanting to share that with everybody else. So just so that everybody's clear, this is definitely a movement that started from the grassroots, every salon involved. And it's great to see Chantelle here from Vivid Salon in Edmonton, because she's been a salon owner for a number of years as well. And her expertise and time in is going to help us all out as well. So thank you, Chantelle. We haven't heard from you yet a little bit. Maybe you can just give a quick shout out about yourself and the salon? And
Okay, we were actually previously finalists in the Davines Eco Salon competition. I think did I present to you guys your award?
yeah, you did.
Yes, you did. That's
Yeah, in Paris.
Yeah, in Paris. And then we were also fundraising salon for Sustainable Beauty Day when the planting was in Brazil. So I got to partake in that as well at Davines. And then on the North American circuit of things, I'm an educator with Davines as well, and I'm on their artistic team. And I just guess all of this really coincides with our culture and philosophy with the salon. Like, we were eco-friendly even before this whole movement and trend became, like, I've owned my salon now for 12 years. And just like naturally, when we developed the salon, it was just like a natural thing to do per se. So that's who I am and what I am. And yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Chantal.
And I think one thing you notice at the hair show is that the Davines inspires people to just maybe push the envelope or take it to the next level. But I'm just like you, Chantal, we just did what we thought was right as far as building the salon in an eco-friendly way and lighting and how we did everything. And so it was a very natural thing. And then as we got into that and realized there's other people doing that, it's like, hey, maybe they've got some cool ideas too. And we started collaborating individually across Canada. And then all of a sudden we realized, hey, maybe there's some other people out there doing cool things. And, that's part of the inspiration behind the movement. It just was like, let's really bring light to this and say it live so we all can share those great ideas. Because it's not just about winning a contest. It's about it's just doing what feels right and finding out new and inspiring ways to do that. So,
yeah, exactly. Totally. So I like
that's great
of this movement.
No, and that's really the whole point is that, as Kurtis said, we're not experts. We're not experts on the business development side. We're just all really fortunate that we stand with a great product line. We have really strong beliefs in terms of our environmentalism. And, we're really lucky that by being afforded the luxury of going to things like the Worldwide Hair Tour and being involved with such a great company and other great stylists and salon owners, that we get to learn things from each other. And that's really what the movement is all about, is for us to get together collectively and learn things from each other. What works for you, what doesn't work for you. Different markets are going to always have different things, but the one anomaly is that clients that have an affinity for the Davines product line or what it stands behind are always going to have something that connects them no matter where we are in terms of geolocation or what country or continent we're on. So it's really cool. I mean, we're really lucky that we're able to do something like this. And I think, Kurtis, let's talk a little bit about Blab itself, about what the service is. And, we're really lucky. Kurtis and I usually spend a lot of time, just the two of us, on these things in the middle of the night because of the time difference. But talk a little bit about Blab and so give some instructions on how people can get involved.
Yeah, so hopefully everybody's had a chance to read a little bit about the instructions about Blab itself, but if not, we'll just kind of throw it out there. It is a live platform. What's going on right now is kind of viewed by everyone that signs on and looks at it. Only certain people can kind of call in and participate with the actual video aspect, but and we control that. And so in order to be able to make that happen, if you can put your comments on the right-hand side, you can, as we go along, if you make, you can put questions in, you can make comments about stuff that we're talking about. We're gonna voice those over so that there is still participation. And also everything that you guys put up here gets posted on our website for comments, and so then we can do some promotion and stuff like that for your salons, for SEO and that kind of thing. So it's basically live while we have the recording on, so it'll be available for viewing later on. It's really a low tech version of being able to just do kind of a grassroots option here. It's not going to be a high production movement and stuff like that. This is going to be kind of low tech, but we're going to cycle people through, and even for myself, I can kick myself off and still listen in. So even if you're not on the call itself, as we go through, we're gonna bring more people in to be able to discuss things. And if you'd like to come on the call, please put into the side in the message that you'd like to join. Just give your name, your salon, and that you're a Davines stylist, that you carry the product, and we'll get you on. Other than that, what else do you love about Blab, James?
Well, it's actually such an easy format to use because it can be done. I mean, it's definitely, it's definitely iOS driven. So iPhone users, iPad users are always going to get first priority. They are working on some things for Android. But what's great is you could pop a headset in, you can jump on your phone, you can be active in the call, you can type in comments. I've done a few live man on the street type calls in some of the other chats we've been on. But it's just a really great format to be interactive. And sometimes there's such a great connection. Like, Chantelle, we saw you out in LA, but, we don't get together as often as we can because of location. So it's a really cool thing to be able to, I don't know, that connection, to be able to see people sometimes. It's just super awesome to be able to, I don't know, see your face. It's sort of like the new version of, the new version of calling mom on her birthday and, FaceTiming with her. So it's a really cool feature, and we hope that everybody likes it, and we hope that we can keep the calls as robust as this, where we have 4 people on at the same time, and people jump in and jump out, and it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be a perfect venue for us.
Yeah. So as we go along here, up on the top of your screen, you'll be able to see other people that are logged on at the time. Oh, hi. Hey, this way the family can participate as well, so that way you can have them watch the calls and see what mommy does day in and day out. So you can, up on top of the screen, there's little kind of icon areas that you can follow the people that are joining in. And yeah, so
all right.
I guess that's enough about Blab. Let's want to get into some meat of it. Why don't we talk a little bit about the Worldwide Hair Tour?
Yeah, I think that's great. I don't know, Angela. We were lucky. This is our second Worldwide Hair Tour. I know that, within the group we're the rookies with only 2 under our belt. But what did you really like so much about the tour? What was your favorite part?
I think Anthony was amazing. I think he's so, I don't know him personally, but just from my interaction with him, he was the winner last year of the World Style Contest. He's so humble, and I think he was so genuine, and the fact that he got a standing ovation his first time out, it was pretty amazing, and I thought he did a beautiful job. And he's just such a sweet guy, and it's him and his wife, and I guess we relate to that as well. But I just thought what he did was incredible. I really was very proud of him.
That's cool. What about you, Chantelle, from Victoria Island?
Vancouver Island.
Vancouver Island.
You're not the only one. No, I think I touched on it before about just being in a room with 2,000 people from all over the world with a common interest and a common energy is a really special and empowering feeling. So congratulations to Davines for bringing all these people together and putting on a show that was more about sustaining beauty and inspiring people all around the world to do different projects. We're not there talking about rock and roll and glitz and glam. It's real people with genuine stories, and I think a few people teared up during a few stories, and that's pretty special. I think everybody leaves feeling like, I wish I could do something. I wish there's, what is there that I can give? How can I give back? So it's a beautiful collaboration of artists doing collections and really amazing hair, but then also the artists in the communities all around the world. So you just imagine how that's going to continue to grow over the years, especially with ways to connect like this that can be all year, and we don't have to wait till Worldwide Hair Tour to find out. Let's connect and share the love.
That's great. Chantelle?
I liked it. I had to make a quick exit because I actually got sick while I was there, but the day one that I was there, I really enjoyed it. I too really loved Anthony. I thought he did a great job. He always does great. And I really loved the story for the I Sustain Beauty with the man from Peru. I thought that was really gorgeous to see that, as well as I love the connection with Angelo and Vincenzo along your hairdresser's assistant. I thought that was a beautiful thing to bring him in and, introduce.
Have you had a chance to share that with? Sorry, I was just gonna touch. Have you ever had a chance to talk to your clients about that story yet? Because I've told a few, and everybody's like, "Oh, amazing! Like, I want this bamboo coconut, wood powder.
You know
like,
what?
Sign me up."
I'm super fortunate because I've been working with it for a while. So we've been playing with it in the client's hair, and they all love it and are really excited for it to come out. But then when we came back and told them about the story and how we were all crying and the emotion, they're like, "Oh my God, well, when is it coming?" And so, a lot of the clients really connected with it and really enjoyed hearing that story too. So we were all like bawling in the front row. It was really beautiful.
It was special. Yeah.
That's actually a really good point. And, I have the wood powder in my hair right now, as a matter of fact.
Perfect.
Smells lovely.
But that, no, I really do, by the way, but that's all right. What I would say is that's always one of the best things about the product line is the stories behind them, that they're not just zero impact. They're not just the ingredients of being paraben free and sulfate free and vegan in most cases. It's, there's always something binding, like the slow food ingredients, which we're going to be really fortunate at some point on one of these calls to have Richard McCarthy, who's the executive director of Slow Food USA, on one of these, just to talk about how important it is to some of these outside influences that Davines is able to bring in. It adds a little bit of sweetness to the products in terms of being able to explain them. I mean, they're great, they perform great, they smell wonderful, they look great on the shelf, they do all these wonderful things, but sometimes it's that added extra affinity towards that one little component that just really adds something beautiful to it. And that's, that really summarizes their whole sustainable beauty theme of what they do. It just adds such a nice touch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So why don't we get into some of the meat of it? Because, first off, Anthony winning. Yeah, of course, was it third Canadian in a row that's won the World Salon, or second Canadian. There was another one this year.
Easy now.
I think Maggie was, is she the third, or was James the third?
No, Lena, James, Anthony, and now Maggie.
Yeah, wow.
And
so Canadians obviously dominating. Yeah, and then you were in before.
Yeah.
So we're going to just keep that trend going.
Thank you.
I did too.
No lie.
So what did you guys think about the Orpheum Theater and just, being in LA in general?
I liked it.
Gorgeous.
It was beautiful.
I love it. I love though when the tour is in Europe, to be honest with you. I love we really get a real feel for the culture behind Davines and the European brand that it is. But I thought they did an amazing job. I thought DNA did a great job. They still kept it coinciding with the philosophy and culture of Davines without making it too flashy. I like the simplicity of it all and the European feel. So I like that they didn't skew too far away with it and still kept their simplistic beauty as well. So I thought it was great. They did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of liked that as a theater itself, it wasn't such a congested way to kind of go in and out of the show. I felt like the one in Paris was a little bit more difficult to kind of get, a seating in there that was actually, where you could see the stage and it was comfortable. Like those old, it's being such.
It was a very old theater.
Yeah, the chairs were wooden and it was really tight. And I mean, it was so cool because you're right. Being part of that European feel of what's going on with the line, it's amazing. But it was fun that they had the theater, and it was, definitely every seat in the house was a good seat. The presentation was awesome. It was very technologically advanced. I loved how you could do the feed with the hashtag on the screen while it was going on, and so it felt a little bit more interactive that way.
Yeah, I also loved the new judging for the World Style competition. I know they had asked me some input last year after I competed, and so how do you think we could improve, blah 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 blah, and I gave a lot of feedback, and I think other contestants from previous years also gave feedback, and I love this new approach at judging, that the front of the house judges were the behind the scene judges and got to see both aspects of it all, because in previous years front of house judging had a higher percentage, but didn't necessarily see what was going on, with technique and disciplines behind the scenes. So I loved how they tweaked that and changed that up a bit so they could actually see really what the contestants were doing behind the scenes. So I thought that was a great improvement for sure to the competition.
Yeah, cool. I thought so too. When we were in London, not being from the hair industry, that was like my first behind the scenes of anything. So, can't say I haven't been ushered through the back door of a restaurant from time to time and been privy to the back to that side. But it was a really crazy thing to see, at Freemasons Hall, like the action that goes on and like the product that's there and the people running around. And, I'm at the coffee bar and I'm hanging out with Davide, which is really funny. So I'm like, oh, hey, and everybody's just going bananas with their models and trying to put the finishing touches on. So it's definitely an interesting perspective to see. And I think people appreciate the hard work that goes in, that it's not just, hey, you show up for the show and you see it. It's that there's days and months and weeks prior to get things together. And then those couple of days before the actual show has to be so stressful, which I don't know when you were there last year, or the years prior, how you felt, but it's got to be pretty crazy.
Well, that's a good question for her. Like, how many days did you go before the show actually started to work on your...
I arrived 4 days early just to balance out from the jet lag. So I would be prepared and sleep. That said, though, you don't really sleep, right? Because your mind is just like going, and then you have your late nights of prep prior, like the 2 days prior, and you're just on, right? So, it's to bed late, up early. But like going into another time zone too is a completely different feel as well, right? Maggie was fortunate this year because she was in North America, right? And in her, she went back a few hours, but was fortunate that she didn't have to do like an 8-hour time change per se. But I did go early for sure, just to like prepare my mind mentally and just, sort of get on track with the time zone there.
Do you have some advice for maybe some upcoming contestants about how you balanced and how you dealt with that? Like, was drinking tea? I actually worked with a meditation coach before I went, Mandy Trapp in Edmonton. She's great. She does a lot for the NHL for players so they can play in the zone. And so I did a bunch of privates with her just to prepare my mind and my body, to be able to decompress, like while you're in that moment and in that time frame and space. So you don't so your mind doesn't kill you, because you can overanalyze and process so much. And then I also was running a bit when I was there too, just to, decompress and release some of that nervous tension per se. But I found meditation totally helped me. And just, being around people that you love and support you and, that you can feel calm with and, decompress that way as well.
That's great. That's great. We're really lucky because we have a few other people on the call. We have Alicia Miller, who I know Chantelle. And
hi, Lish. How are you?
She's on. She's also going to jump on at some point. We get a free seat to talk a little bit about the Worldwide Hair Tour. We also have another very good friend of mine, Robert Reed from Ergo Brushes, that's on with us. Yes. So we were really lucky. We were out in LA and I was able to introduce Kurtis and Chantelle to Robert. We had a couple cocktails and we had a little light or early dinner. He does some amazing things in terms of training stylists about the importance of a blow dry and how to blow dry, which I think is super appropriate with the new Your Hair Assistant line coming out. But I'm going to bring Robert on at some point as well. And
thank you for the brushes, Robert. I gotta give these brushes a shout out. I don't know if anybody else has tried them, but ergonomically, like the weight, the size of the barrel, the comfortability, the blowouts. Like I think, my excitement with Your Hair Assistant combining with my new brushes is just blowing my mind right now. So we've definitely got some fans here on the West Coast. I can't wait to bring some more of us. So thank you for the lovely gift. I've been enjoying it.
No, and Robert's going to try to jump on the call with us. He's in a little bit of a tech issue area, so I don't know if we'll be able to get him on. We're going to try. But I would always precursor the story where I had the luxury of meeting Robert probably about a year and a half ago now in the salon. It's a super high quality brush. Obviously comes with a higher price tag than the typical nonsense that we use, day to day in terms of styling tools and things like that. So let me see if I can, Chantel's taking a little break. Let me see if I can bring Robert on. Robert, if you're with us, let's see if I can open up the seat. Robert, why don't you try to jump in and click on that seat, and let's see if we can get you on, and hopefully we can hear you.
I think Chantelle was running to go grab some ergo brushes to show, so we'll get her.
Let's see, Robert can't stay with us too long if he can be heard at all. So let's see, Robert, I don't know if you can get on with us. There you go.
There he is. There he is. So I'm gonna bounce off so that Chantelle can show the brushes so we can entertain that excitement here. So I'll still be in the comments section.
Awesome. Robert, I don't know if you can hear us. We can't see you yet. Chantel's coming back though to showcase your brushes. Let's see.
I get this in here.
So those are the brushes there.
First of all, this is like a massage. I can't really see. I don't know if you can tell the rippled effect in the brush, but I've never had a brush with such a long barrel and such a wide diameter. It's really hard to see on this perspective, but it's probably a good inch longer than most of our brushes, and it's just a sexy looking tool. You know, I mean, it's just
they're very
designed.
comfortable. They are almost indestructible.
Yeah, they're close. They're not easy to break. I would probably say if Robert can't get on, if Alicia can get on, if you want to jump in, Alicia, we'll talk a little bit about. Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Kurtis, you can take me off. And
Alicia's name is Alicia, not Alicia.
Alicia.
James always calls her Alicia. It's Alicia.
It's the Jersey in me. That's the problem.
Everybody.
So welcome with us, but just to kind of no pun intended, to end cap what Chantelle was saying about the ergo brushes. What's awesome about them is that the barrel itself is a little bit longer. They are silicone handled, which silicone is sustainable. There's also no cap. So the cheapest way to make a brush, right, is to make the middle and then put a top and a bottom on it. And you get hair caught in the rings and things like that. So they're not manufactured the same way. There's no way to catch hair in them. They're super easy to clean with that stupid brush tool. You take a warm towel and run it right through, the hair pops right out.
Story when he told me, and I thought, how does it work so good?
Did you try it?
The best. We're sitting there with a comb and our tool trying to clean out our brushes. We literally just warm towel, do a twist, and it pulls every hair off. Beautiful.
Which is great. What's really nice is that obviously being part of the Davines family, we're all education advocates and want to keep honing our craft. What's awesome about Ergo, and Robert and I have been lucky to be friends for a while, and he always has great, not just motivational and positive things to say about the industry, but in terms of actual, working in the field day to day. They do a wonderful class as part of their brush education, and it's not just about it's about ways to eliminate the curling iron, so you can do things with the brush itself, and it's about body posturing and things that are important to the overall health of a stylist, which companies like Davines and salons like ours that are open to being sustainable and longevity in terms of the businesses and the stylist career, it's really important. You blow dry the wrong way, and you're just not going to get a quality blow dry, number one. But you're also going to start diminishing your career. Every minute that goes by that your tools are inferior, it's just another day that you're going to have an issue with your back pain or your bad feet and all those things. So it's really great that they're able to kind of highlight some things that help stylists with their career.
And also, James, I don't know, Alicia and I know because we've done the training for the new line coming out. The whole basis behind your hairdresser's assistant. Or your hair assistant is essentially like working with the craft and the quality of the craft and how to properly do those things. So there's 4 different looks that we're teaching with the launch of the line, where all of those things, proper posture, brush technique, and quality of what we're doing behind it, as opposed to like relying on hot tools and things like that. So actually properly blow drying, properly round brushing, properly flat brushing, properly curling, properly twisting. That's the whole basis behind the new line when it will be launched. So this conversation really coincides well with what you're talking about. So it's good that you focus on that.
Well, and that's good too. The interesting thing is that, in terms of the why the movement was designed, we kind of have our 4 pillars of things that we're working with. The environmental component, education component, the product side and the marketing side. And what I love about your hair assistant line coming out is you kind of encompass all 4 of our pillars in one. You have obviously from the environmental component of it, it's a paraben-free and sulfate-free line, which is wonderful. From the education side, I think it's great that you're taking something like, something that's sort of overlooked sometimes, the blow dry and the finish, and kind of bringing that to the forefront. Marketing wise, let's be honest, if a client leaves your salon and looks fantastic, that's the best referral card or business card you can give them in terms of your staff and your stylist and coming back. And the products themselves are great. I mean, the smell is wonderful. I think Oya is going to have a little bit of an issue because you have a little bit of competition with this new line in terms of the scent that everybody loves so much. But it's nice and it seems so easy to use. We've only spot tested it so far. We haven't gotten our release, over on the East Coast, but it's pretty cool. What do you think about it, Alicia?
Good job.
No, the new line is incredible, and Chantal and I have had we've been very lucky to be able to use it and learn the full looks, and the scent is jasmine and mint that you love so much. And but no, I think it's a tool that we haven't yet seen from Davines, and I've always thought that all of our products surpass any other products out there, but I think everyone will really be pleasantly surprised to see that we've gone another level above. And Angelo has really taken in such great thought and care into creating these products with Davines R&D, and so I think you'll be really excited about them. I know Chantal and we're thrilled to work with them, and completely excited and blown away by the results. So yeah, it's going to be a good launch.
For sure.
That's good. We're definitely excited. We love new products. I would always say that I'm the weird one. I'm the product and ingredient specialist, and I don't do hair at all. So I'm front of house. So, the texture, the smell, the things that are going to make, the look of a package that comes out, I kind of have a bird's eye view of what clients are looking at when they leave. And I won't say that we stole products from the Orpheum Theater, but for some reason I wound up with a package in my salon of your hair assistant test. So I have them on the shelf actually. And they look
beautiful on the shelf. They do.
Yeah, they are. And I have them as part of our, it's nice. The mauve color kind of plays nicely with Valentine's Day coming up next week, which was one of the quick topics we wanted to talk about, as part of the first call. But do you ladies have anything to add about anything you think is important in terms of the Valentine's Day holiday in as far as what you do in terms of services or things within your salons?
Well, we do a feature with love, obviously, because, Valentine is the holiday of love. So we do different promotions. We do 1,000 ml promotion with our love for our clients. And then just different, decorative ideas. We did, love container with cinnamon hearts around the salon with spoons and stuff like that for clients, and just to make it fun, per se.
Yeah, this year I think I'm going to take a little away something that I did at my wedding, and we had a big sign for our gifts to all of our guests at our wedding, and we had the love sachets just in a big old suitcase, and it said "Take home a little love from the Millers," and so all of our guests got shampoo and conditioner sachets, and so. I think this year at the salon, the same thing. I hope that we'll all, at least I know myself and 3 or 4 other people will have it on their stations. But just a pre-sampling of the Love shampoo and conditioner so that they can get to know it and have a little extra love. Valentine's Day from us. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I love that idea.
Yeah, same sort of idea. We just have a few displays around the salon with love. In Canada, we just received the body scrubs. So any two full-size essentials products, you get to take home a $35 body scrub complimentary. So we've just got it sitting next to the love bottles with some heart displays, stuff like that, just to encourage them for themselves or to buy it as a gift. Again, just sharing the love. You know, it's all about inspiring others to do and say good things about others they love, whether it's a friend or family member or a significant other. You know, there's some competitions on Instagram and Facebook where you can ask your clients to nominate a friend that they feel is deserving of a free gift as well. So another way to get your name into some new hands is asking them to share that with their friends, and you'll reward them both. You know, just little things like that
Yeah, that's really nice. What, you know, I think a really good point too, this is sort of what the movement's about, is kind of sharing some cool things that you do. It doesn't necessarily have to be a holiday. It could be your everyday in salon. But, you know, I would tell everybody that's on the call or everybody that's going to watch the recorded call, we're really fortunate to all be part of the Davines family. We're in an interesting position where we've been really lucky to meet a lot of other salons and salon owners and things. You know, spread the love. You know, if you know about a salon that you're able to meet, whether it was at one of the worldwide hair tours, if you went to an education-based event or something like that, learn a little bit about them. By the way, that's my furry baby. The other three we've exported, but you know, but share the love to some of these other salons. I mean, social media, you know, like, follow, share, all those things. You know, it's really hard. You know, we're dealing in a world with the Yelp mafia, which hopefully we'll get them on a call one day to kind of explain how their algorithm works and things like that. But, you know, think about going out to some of these other salons that you've been able to learn about and really go out there and say, hey, you know what? I love that salon. I don't even like them. I wish that Facebook had a love button. They do great things, but go that one little extra step and go out and, you know, if you were lucky enough to meet a salon that you think does great things like you do, or you know, you have some tie, write them a Yelp review. It doesn't mean that you have to be a client. I mean, we didn't create this model that they do. Write them a review. Tell them what you personally love about them. It doesn't matter if you're out of state or out of country, but every little bit of love helps everybody kind of move forward, and you know, that's what the movement's all about.
Yeah,
Kurtis,
thanks. Well,
back.
yeah, just imagine as salon owners, if we all together in the movement just took some time and went through everybody's pages and just wrote something, even on a Google review, about what our experience with that person is as a stylist or, you know, in their trade. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the salon itself. Right away, Davines Salons, you know, having hundreds of reviews from people on Google, all of a sudden now Davines Salons are kind of the in thing on Google when it comes time for people searching out salons in their local area. So little things like that is, if we can put a call to action to some of the people out there, that can maybe do a thing right off the bat, you know, at least go through some of the, we'll start sharing some of the lists on the website and stuff like that. So if you can go through and do that, and just a reminder for all the stylists and salon owners to put their names and their salons in the comments, just so that way it gets recorded on the call. It also will help your SEO for your salon, and so that's search engine optimization. That's when Google searches out if salons are active in social media and stuff like that. So make sure you do that, and you know, selfishly promote yourself on the sidebar. The other is, I liked all the ways that we were talking about Valentine's Day promotions. Like, give some Davines stylists an answer for this question, and of course it's got to be authentic, right? Like, you guys are just amazing. You know, it's all about that. It's about authentic sales through a consultative selling process, not through gimmicky marketing or chasing and discounting. This is about, like, really just having a natural, authentic connection with your clients, and, you know, bringing out messages like that about love and about just sharing amazing products with people that you actually really care about, and you know, really just support your work. So I'm not sure if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, a little bit about that, about authentic, you know, sales process and authentic consultation with your clients.
I honestly believe that the product speaks for itself and sells for itself through educating our clients on how to properly use it. I mean, they fall in love with it. It does what it says it does, and you don't have to have any sales gimmick or anything to sell Davines. Just through education and explaining why you're doing what you're doing through the process of their entire experience at the salon, they want to buy it because they trust you and they trust your belief, and they try it. And I always love when a client comes back and says, oh, that Love shampoo and conditioner you recommended for me, oh, it worked so well. I felt such a difference in my hair. And it's like, yeah, well, I didn't recommend it to you because I wanted you to buy it. I recommended it to you because I knew it would make a difference on your hair. And so I always love that connection, when a client comes back and, thoroughly loves and enjoys what you recommended for them to use. So I think it speaks for itself.
Well, I liked how you put that, because at first you're talking about the products being so amazing and speaking for themselves. But when you're talking about it, it's because, they trust you.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, the product speaks for itself. It does. But if it's just on the shelf, it doesn't sell itself. And that's one thing salon owners have to remember is putting a amazing, beautiful packaged product that looks great, and we use it with our clients every day, that if you're not explaining it through the process and telling them about the tools that you're using and the styling products, and then actually telling them at the counter, this is what I recommend, that's part of the consultative selling process, and that is how they build that trust with you, and that is that development of trust. So probably some things. Okay, go ahead.
No, and again, just educating is the key, in all aspects, right? I remember in with previous packaging, so, oh, I don't like this packaging. I don't, negative feedback, or I don't like how it doesn't lather, or, and then when you educate the client on the how and the why behind that, then they're like, oh, I love it, and so it totally changes their viewpoint. And, well, it doesn't contain these, ingredients which cause, in long use, cancer. And, oh, well, I love it. You know what I mean? So I think, again, educating your client, it's key. And, it's just education, right?
Yeah.
I think it also has to do, with educating your staff. I think that a lot of times stylists in the salon feel like they're not salespeople, and they tend to say that a lot about selling retail and recommending products to their clients. And I try to tell my staff that that's part of their experience in your chair, is that, the look you created for them, the color you gave them, all needs to be maintained with certain products. And if you don't follow through with that last step and show them how to use it, they can't recreate what you've done for them in your chair. So it's not about selling, it's about recommending, and it's about finishing the service so they get a complete package. They got this great hair color, they have this great hairstyle, and now they go home and they're using, drugstore products, and they can't recreate what you've done for them. So it's not only educating the client. I think for us as salon owners, and I'm sure Chantal, you would agree, it's about educating your staff that it's not sales.
100%.
It's just
and I didn't say staff just because, with our team at the salon, it's just a given that they already know, they are educated to educate. So
that's great.
But yeah, 100%. That's making fantastic. Sure your staff as well and your team, knows the how and the why behind everything, and what the importance is to properly educate their clients as they're, doing their service.
Yeah, and just to mention Robert's comment on the side too is he mentioned that guests do wish to know how everything works, and even more so how to use them correctly. Make sure that you have engaged them in the learning process by involving them. Not everybody knows how to use something seemingly simple like a brush.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So educating them with the tools and how to using it as well, that's also important. And I never really thought about that until we talked to Robert and we met him in LA. But actually getting them to hold the brush and see how they're doing their own hair with their own arms. Are they holding their elbow too high, or little things like that is going to be making a big difference. So Alicia, you've got a lot of training experience. What do you have to add to this conversation?
Yeah, same with Chantal. We're on the same team and work together regularly. So I think just educating your client, whether it be maybe having a styling night where you invite your clients to come in and learn how to properly round brush, because I think every one of our clients always says, like, you know, can I take you home with me? If I was a millionaire, I would have you move in with me so that every morning you were blow drying my hair, and we can teach them how to do it. And so maybe offering a styling night where we go in and it's complimentary, or it's buy the one product that you'll use the most at the end of this. Just something to create some sort of sense of community as far as teaching them how to style their own hair, so that they're not just going home and we're wishing them good luck and that's it. And like Chantal said, in regards to the products, the new essentials, the natural tech, your hair assistant, more inside, all of them have been reformulated and redone in the past few years to improve technology and performance. But as well, they do somewhat sell themselves, and you can look at the product and diagnose yourself. But also, there's the Davines app that you can go to, and the app is for iPhone right now, hopefully Android in the coming future. But I'll try to pull it up quickly, but you can go to the app itself, and the very top bar is the Beauty Regimen app. And your clients or yourselves can actually diagnose for yourself what their hair needs. So rather than handing them a gossip magazine or something that they don't need right away, maybe we can hand them an iPad or show them on their iPhone how to download the Davines app, so that instead of immediately talking about the Kardashians, no hard feelings towards them, but rather than that being our...
They're actually going to be on next, so sorry for what Alicia just said. Kim, we apologize. No, she didn't need it. We're going to kick her off the call. Don't worry.
Rather than maybe that being our first topic of conversation, we can talk about the shampoos that they need and the conditioners that they need, and really build that relationship with our clients before we build anything else. So that's all.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's good. And what I would say too is that we try to look for things that are going to benefit. You always say, like, the Trinity, right? You want them to benefit the stylist, you want them to benefit the salon, and you want them to benefit the client. And what I love about blow dry being a focus with your hair assistant especially is that what we're going to focus on in our salon is to do actual blow dry lessons. So we call them BYOB. The clients are going to bring in their own tools, so that when they complain about an issue that they have, and you find out that they're using a 500-watt blow dryer that they got at the local drugstore, and they wonder why they're not able to streamline and their process or dry their hair fast enough. So in salon, what we'll do is, we'll kind of do a double blow dry. So in other words, in terms of cost factor wise, our stylists will benefit, because if it takes an hour to do the blow dry that normally takes 30 minutes, they'll be compensated that way. And then to give the client back an incentive, we'll do a product credit for them in order to purchase something that the stylist had recommended to them, so that they get a takeaway at the same time. I know Kurtis and I had talked on a call before, and we'll continue to do that, about tools themselves. So it really gives you an opportunity to see what their process is at home. And that was one of my favorite lines from Robert Reed from Ergo was, show me how you get started with your blow dry at home. So you hand them the tools and say, what do you do? Tell me your process, because you'd be surprised. Sometimes they'll, like you girls were saying about, they would love to have $1 million so they could take you home with them. And then you see what they use, and you find out that they're using like a pick from 1970s with missing teeth, or
people have very strange home routines. I've learned during this blow dry class that we do. And it's usually apparent what they're doing wrong within like the first 30 seconds of them picking up their tools and trying to do it. They're watching you do their hair, and that's completely different than how we even do our own hair. So I think it's important to show them, not just behind your chair while you're doing the regular service, but like you said, have a style night where you're actually, teaching them how to do it on themselves, which is really different than what you do during
Even I
service.
Find application of product per se, and like to properly work it through and comb it through the hair. Like a lot of clients, if you don't properly show them that, and like how you put it in your hand, how you work it in your hand, how you work it in their hair, I find that that's like their very first mistake, right? Even to like, towel blot their hair before applying their product, little simple things like that, like really change their final and end result.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think those are all great points. Don't burn the movement out in the first issue with all these great things. Like, we need to continue this.
3 hours.
But what I'd like to do is, so obviously this being the kickoff and obviously this being Super Bowl Sunday, there's some interesting things in terms of the environmental side of the Super Bowl. This is the first green Super Bowl. I'm going to bring Will Simpson from Green Circle Salons on the call to talk about a couple of really cool things. Obviously the sustainable side of not just the business, but the environment is a big component of the movement and what we do. So I don't know, Kurtis, I'm going to bounce out and bring Will in. Will, when you see that seat open, you can jump on, and then I'll jump back in and we can close the call. But let's see if we can do that. All right, you're able to.
Yeah, James. Actually, why don't we keep you on the call, because you've got quite a bit of the information about the stadium itself and everything else. So I'm going to.
I'll bounce off if you want.
Alicia's going to. Okay. Well, we're going to. Okay. Well, so thank you very much for offering to take up it. It was
Thank you, Alicia.
I'm excited for the future.
We'll see you soon. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Will, if you're on the call, you can jump in. Oh, there you go. He's ready to go.
Chantal, you guys are.
So I want to tell everybody, and just want to tell everybody that unfortunately, Will is pretty sick. So if he's in bed and you see tissues next to him, he's got a little bit of a cold. So, Will, thanks for joining with us, buddy. So that's it. So I had mentioned, obviously Green Circle Salons, I think a lot of people on the call are familiar with Green Circle Salons, but we'll tell you a quick thing about that. And Will, I just mentioned that this is the first green Super Bowl, and I know you have some cool stats to end the call with us, but welcome. Tell us a little bit about Green Circle.
First established itself in the Davines audience a few years ago, but kind of rose to prominence a little while ago when we agreed to divert all of the waste from the Worldwide Hair Tour. So basically all of the materials that were being used backstage, the hair, the foils, the actual color that would have been going down the drain, was all collected by Green Circle. And what's kind of cool, and where I see an interesting tie-in between where you're going with the conversation, James, and what we do, is that Green Circle's mission is to make our industry sustainable by 2020. The Super Bowl is kicking off tonight in a city that's goal is to be zero waste by 2020. And so there's kind of this interesting, yeah, absolutely. And San Francisco actually has some incredible recycling facilities. They have for years now, some of the best in North America. So there's this really cool thing happening where all at once, and sometimes you see this in the environmental field, there's this synergy between what we're trying to do here with the movement to kind of create this new technological way of communicating about sustainability. And then in the North American tech capital, which is Silicon Valley, you've got this new stadium that's being built, which perfectly fits in with this goal of being sustainable by 2020. So I guess James thought that it would be kind of cool if I just sort of talked about some of these things. So obviously when you're building a $1.5 billion stadium in Silicon Valley, it's one of these things where you gotta think bigger, you gotta think better, right? This is the stadium to end all stadiums, especially for Super Bowl number 50, which is what's happening today. So, they decided that they wanted to build a LEED certified facility. So it's gold LEED certified. It's the second highest standard in LEED certification. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a very strict building guideline. So it's a way to ensure that in a number of different areas, sustainability is the top priority, from planning through to maintenance of the building. So they've got this gold LEED certified building. So I'll talk a little bit about that. They've got a green roof system. So Chantelle was on the call earlier with her green wall. For those of you who don't know what a green roof is, it's basically that on a horizontal plane at the top of the building. So they've got this really beautiful green roof. It looks kind of like the Davines garden that's being built in Parma. And the green roof itself actually reclaims water from throughout the stadium, potable and non-potable water, to help irrigate the roof plants. So that's a pretty cool thing. There's 20,000 square feet of solar panels running through the building, and those are helping to feed electricity directly into the Jumbotron and all of the various different activities that require energy. And they've actually got a food share program set up. So this is pretty cool. Not only do they have farm-to-table restaurants throughout the facility, but they're also doing a food share. So any food that's being prepared for the event that doesn't end up getting eaten, any water bottles that are getting ready for the event that don't get used, all of that stuff is going to local charities in the San Francisco Bay Area. So again, a really kind of cool community aspect. I didn't know this until I started looking into this, but the Super Bowl chair group actually does all kinds of really cool charity work every year. Their goal is usually to raise $1 million, and this year they've raised $12 million already. So they're actually doing some really cool stuff aside from just drinking beer and eating hot dogs, which is pretty neat, because that's sort of where it's an international community at that point, and to see that they're doing these really good things is great. So one of the things that I really liked most about this is that they're working with different community groups in sort of the San Francisco Bay Area. They're going to be planting almost 30,000 trees through different community initiatives as well. So they've had electronic waste recycling programs. They've had memorabilia give backs and repurposing programs, and just this really cool energy. And I think, James, maybe I know you're kind of a green mastermind, so you knew what you were doing here, but maybe you didn't even realize how much synergy there is between the sustainable salon movement and this kind of strange sports movement that's happening in our time. And I think it really speaks to what's going on in it just out there in the world. This is happening not just in our brand. This is happening in sports too.
I was really trying to score free tickets to the Super Bowl, and when they're almost $5,000 a seat, I was hoping that if we could have done this 2 weeks earlier, maybe they would have flown me out there, and Kurtis and I could have had a skybox seat. All their VIP boxes at the Super Bowl are all made from reclaimed wood from an old airplane hangar that's outside of San Francisco. So we could have totally pitched the sustainable side, and right now we could be prepping at some party drinking, we'd have to drink Budweiser, I guess, even though it's not. San Francisco's got some good craft beers, but I'm sure Budweiser has a big stake in the Super Bowl. But those are all really good points, and I think to kind of circle back and get ready to end the call, Kurtis and I had talked a little bit every single day for the last year, but one of the really interesting things I found about stats for the Super Bowl, obviously the ads are crazy, right? $5 million for an ad and things like that this year, which is nuts. But it was the percentage of why people watch a game. This is the most watched televised event of the year. You have a little over 50% of the people that actually watch it for the game. You have a bunch of people, obviously, that watch it for the halftime show, and another bunch that watch it for the commercials. But you had, the bottom half of that, bringing up the percentage, were people that just wanted to get together with their friends and family for an event that had no real holiday purpose to it. And I think that kind of encompasses the Davines family and the clients and the stylists and the staff and things that we have. It's not always about the Super Bowl, right? So the Worldwide Hair Tour is the Super Bowl of the Davines world. It's sort of the collective of everybody being able to get together like a family. And, as Slow Food would say, you sit down at the table to break bread. You're able to kind of get together and share, and that's what the movement is all about. Kurtis, I don't know if you have some things that you want to end with, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's amazing how much amazing stuff is going on in the world with small little aspects of sustainability that are just, people are starting to change their mindset, and they're starting to look at this and really be excited about the fact that, they're making a difference, and that in small ways they can make a difference everywhere. So the Super Bowl, if we look at it a little bit, and we've been talking about it for quite a while during our call, but really this is an important aspect, because when we're thinking about marketing our salons with regards to our sustainability, which is, of course, part of our ethics anyways, but still it's about communicating that and marketing that to your clients. Because sustainability is about clients in your chair. If people are starting to look at even these sporting events that they're looking forward to a stadium being sustainable for the Super Bowl, then this is going to increase people's awareness and understanding that, this is really important. Like, people are making these changes. And if they're going to a salon that's not making these changes, they're going to be like, well, if the Super Bowl can do it, and it's like a bunch of, the mentality of like a bunch of rednecks running around drinking beer and hitting each other, then why wouldn't a salon be doing this kind of work too, right? So let's just continue with that and keep kind of have that in our back of our minds for how this is kind of moving forward with the movement. And just everybody else that's maybe going to potentially watch this call in the recorded aspect, so they weren't participating live but are going to be watching it now. This is available at the salonmovement.com. There's going to be some replays of this. You can also share the video, mention it to some of your stylists in the salon if they haven't seen it, or colleagues to get involved. It's going to be a weekly call, so we're going to be probably I believe we're going to be doing this every Sunday, but we'll be sending out an email just like we have in the past to all the people that are signed up on the website. So just keep checking in on the website, because there's going to be new updates and how we're going to be moving things forward. We've got some exciting stuff coming out for tools for salons, and some ways for people to get to participate. So we kind of do I'm on a few other webinars, and usually the people that have been on for the most amount of time, we usually just do a quick round table. So I'm going to kick Will off because you're sick, and you haven't, although you've contributed a lot to the sustainable part, we're just going to get Chantelle back on. And so thank you so much, Will. It's about sustainable partners in this project that's going to really move this forward too, along with the distributors and the salon owners and stylists. So thanks a lot for getting involved, and this is a huge show of commitment.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you all again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you.
All right, so we got so Will's off and Chantel's going back on. So let's do, so the screen is kind of weird because it doesn't always show like exactly where everybody is. So, Chantel, the Chantels might be on the top. I don't know, I might be on the left-hand side. So we don't do left to right or anything like that. So let's do Chantal G and Chantelle P, and then James, and then we'll just, I'll finish off with, so we'll just do some final comments just about what we've talked about today, and just your kind of last final words.
Well, thank you for inviting me to be part of the movement today, James. Also, I love that you had Green Circle on. I find in Canada, in order to be green and recycle and compost and all that, we have really amazing programs within our city set up to make that really simple to be a part of that. But I find when I'm educating in America, sometimes it's shocking to me how so many areas don't even have recycling. So I think, for salons in America especially, it makes that whole movement a lot more easy and simplified, where Green Circle will come into the space and take care of all of those extra wastes or recyclables, hair, etc. In our salon, we already were Green Circle per se before Green Circle existed, just because, our programs that are set up make that easy for us to do. But I do find in America sometimes it's not as easily done. So I thought that was great to invite him in and just to expose Green Circle a little bit more and their green approach, because I do think it's super important, like for our future and for our children's future, that we are all green-minded per se. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Chantel.
I took the words right out of my mouth. Great combination of individuals today. Great to see some familiar faces. I look forward to the inspiration that this creates for new topics, a little bit of marketing, a little bit of information, and just some sharing. So, great job, you guys. Thanks for these people together today, and I look forward to learning in the future.
That's great. Angela, would you like to add anything?
I have to agree with what Chantelle said. I was thinking about that before when we were talking about sustainability. We happen to be one of the first, and there's not that many of us in our area that are eco-friendly and sustainable in the salon. And in our area, it's really not that common. So I hope that something like this will maybe spread the word to, our neck of the woods, because you guys are way ahead of us in terms of all that. And, that's what this movement is all about, communicating with other people and helping them, helping us, just sharing. So I think it's a good start. I'm really excited to see what comes out of it and learn more.
That's good. Before Kurtis ends the call, I would say we had an awesome turnout today. We had a ton of people go to the salonmovement.com and sign up. Interaction is what's going to make this great. Fortunately, the Design House and the Beehive get along infamously, so we can go to all the Worldwide Hair Tours and see all of our friends from the Davines family and have cocktails and talk about cool things and do better things. But, we're here just as much for ourselves as we are for you, and we definitely need everyone to be actively involved. You can see how the talks work and how seats are open. We'll have a calendar posted on the site in terms of some of the topics that are there. We would encourage other stylists and salon owners and even distributors, if they wanted to be on, to send us a message. But this is how it grows. This is how the movement works. The more interactive and the more people that are involved, the better, and the more it grows, right? Would you say the same, Kurtis?
Yeah. Thanks, James. I think that's, first off, thank you, Chantal and Chantelle. And Alicia and Will and Robert tried to come on, but he was also putting comments on the side. It's the small, and Angela, it's the small things that we all do to slowly invest in each other's success here that's going to really bring it to the next level. And so thank you very much, because taking an hour out of your time on a day off is an investment, and I really respect that and honor that. And so thank you to everybody that's been on the call, and we've got a lot of exciting things to come. So we're really excited about that. Please go to the salonmovement.com if you haven't signed up yet, and we'll get information as it comes out to you. If you're watching this as a recording, I hope you enjoyed it. Please, you can still put your comments below the post. You can also send us an email with any comments. We're going to have, we'd also like to hear what you guys would like to hear for a show, like what you'd like to talk about. So give us some ideas for what you'd like to, for us to cover. Maybe some certain special guests that you'd also like us to have on the show too. And so for everybody that was part of this, especially for the kickoff, this was exciting. And Chantal, thank you very much for being part of the kickoff too. I mean, it's a perfect fit, because you do support almost everything that's going on out there, especially with sustainability. So looking forward to other salons participating as well, and hopefully we get to see you on the next call too.
I don't know next week I'll be in New York for Fashion Week, so I'll try my hardest.
Cool.
Well, maybe you could do a live from Fashion Week then.
That's right. That would be great. That's an idea.
Backstage.
Right. Okay, well, we're going to go off.
It's really
off the record
user-friendly
now.
on the phone.
Thanks everybody, and enjoy. See ya.
Thank you, everybody.
Happy Super Bowl, everybody.